Hey, this is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com with how to be a good girlfriend in 7 steps. Well, you can choose any one of them you like. They all work. Let's get into them. Quick disclaimer though, I did get an email from somebody who complained about the subject matter like, oh my God, like should a woman have to work to get a man's attention? Well look, if you don't like the thought of working to be the best girlfriend in his life or the best girl for him, well, stop watching right now. In fact, ask yourself, why bother with this topic at all? If you think he has the obligation to get it together and prove himself to you, well, you're right, sort of. He'll only give you as good as he gets in the relationship, so it's a two-way street. All right, let's get started with good girlfriend step number 1. Step number 1 is don't sweat the small stuff. Now, it's a great philosophy of life. It came from one of my favorite authors, Scott Carlson, who wrote all those books about don't sweat the small stuff. And yeah, it really is all small stuff. Keep things in perspective in your relationship. In the perspective of a life well lived, you have to know that very little of the stuff that we focus on really matters. In the day-to-day of a relationship, though, you will have things that bug you about him. Just be willing to let go of it quickly so you can get on to the good stuff. How to be his favorite girlfriend? Step number 2 is drop the nag. Let's just say that a guy is keenly aware of things that you'd like to change about him. But the problem is that some of these things might be things that are just not going to change. Ask yourself, can you accept them? Would he be just as good if he never changed? Well, if you can get rid of the nagging in your relationship, you'll have gone miles down the road of being the woman that he can't get enough of. Men desperately need your approval, and the one thing that stands between him and feeling like he's getting that approval is the frequency of your complaints about him. The reality of a relationship is that there's always going to be some things you just don't see eye to eye on. You're never going to agree on, but that's okay. You're two separate people with individual beliefs, and you're going to have to learn how to accept certain things about him. Make him feel accepted, and he will definitely find a way to feel that love for you. Step number 3 for being his best girl is to unfriend him. Oh, this one's going to be a doozer. I'm going to get a ton of email on this one. You heard me right. Get on Facebook and other social media and cut that umbilical cord between you and him. If you're together in life, you don't need the electronic connection to make it better. In fact, online social media will actually make it harder to have a good relationship. Why? Well, because you're only going to be watching the stuff that causes fights. There's just too much drama potential out there, from getting tagged in photos to seeing who he's posting on whose walls and whatever. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Carlos, how can I keep him honest if I can't keep an eye on who he's flirting with? Well, if that's what you need to keep your relationship on the honest level, it's probably in dire straits right now. It doesn't stand much of a chance. One of the first things my wife and I did was to cut that cord in our Facebook pages, and it is a godsend. The greatest girlfriend, you want to be that? Okay, step number 4 is get hooked on his addictions. Well, let's assume that I'm not talking about real physical addictions and drinking and drugs and all that anyways. I'm talking about the things that he loves to enjoy in the world. Those are the good addictions. Those are the things he's passionate about. And those are the things you should be sharing with him. You got to remember, it speaks to a guy when his woman makes an effort to be a part of his inner world. As long as you show some interest in his passion, that's all he needs to feel like his life is validated and it's knitted together with yours. How to be the perfect girlfriend, step number 5, be there with him. Now, I have a good friend who is on her phone way too much. She tends to surf Facebook while we're sitting around with each other when she has idle time, which is basically any time there's a 5-second pause in the conversation. My wife and I love her to death, but that distraction is way too much. Just keep that in mind. Whatever's going on your phone can wait until later on. He needs you to be present and with him in the moment. Put the phone away, no texting, no Pinterest, none of that stuff that can, well, wait until you're in an airport TSA security line. You can do that then. When you're with him, be with him so that he feels like he's important to you. Be the woman he loves to love. Step number 6 is look good. And I'm not saying get breast implants. I'm not saying spend 25 hours at the gym. I'm not saying you have to be a supermodel or genetically or modify your DNA. What I'm saying is look good. All you got to do is put in the effort. Work a little bit at looking good for him within your own limits. A little makeup, a little exercise, a little self-control at the buffet. All that stuff goes way beyond the average for getting him to really want you. It really matters to a guy that you care about taking care of yourself for him and looking good for him. It's the kind of effort he needs to see in the relationship, and that increases his positive feelings and positive vibe within the relationship. And finally, how to be a good girlfriend. Step number 7, learn something new. Yeah, sometimes we guys get a little bit jaded and we want something new-ish. Not that we're going to actively pursue a cheating opportunity just to get a little piece of strange out there. Hey, far too much has been written about this whole men are dogs and men cheat thing. But when it comes to love in the long term, we need a little bit of something fresh if you can dig in and invest in yourself in the relationship. Here's a few ways you can do that. First is blow his mind in the bedroom. Go check out a few of those naughty video clips on some of the sites out there. You know what I'm talking about. See what's popular these days. Yeah, there's some new tricks you can always add to your repertoire, and that again is going to look like and feel like something new for him. Cook him a meal. Doesn't matter if you don't cook. There's so many recipes out there, so many YouTube videos. It's not that hard to put together something for him. It's going to go, again, a long way towards making him feel like there's something new for him to experience in the relationship. And trade secrets. Tell him a naughty detail from your past. Play that game of 2 truths and a lie, or 2 lies and a truth. Have him figure out which one is true or which one's the lie. It's a great way to get to know somebody, and everybody has something that they haven't learned about somebody else, no matter how long they've been with them. You got to dig in a little bit and don't get bored of each other. You want him to be concerned with pursuing you and winning you over and over and over again. This happens all the time in my own relationship, and I want to show you how to do it in yours. It doesn't matter if you've been dating a few months or if you've already been married for years and have kids. All it takes is learning how to create irresistible desire with a man. And there's triggers that do this, and I want to show you how to do that. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com. That's datingadviceguru.com/irresistible. That little thing you see right below me here, or the link you see in the description below. Go to datingadviceguru.com/irresistible. Watch my quick presentation. It's a quick video presentation on this, and you're going to learn some things I guarantee you probably didn't know about what makes men desire you. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com/irresistible. I'll be talking again next week, and as always, live and love with passion.